in Nazi Germany during World War II, as the tide turned in favour of the Allies, a cadre of senior German officers and politicians desperately plot to topple the Nazi regime before the nation is crushed in a nearly inevitable defeat. Nazis with British accents are abound in the fifth highest grossing World War II movie of all time, apparently. God damn. I feel that Valkyrie was a good anime. It had plenty of historical accuracy in its costumes and props, and accents aside, the cast all gave good if unremarkable performances. No one really stands out in this, not even Cruise, which is a shame because Operation Valkyrie is a great true story that deserves the big budget treatment, and Valkyrie from 2008 is kinda half that. The best moment of the film, of course, was the Operation Valkyrie sequence itself. The film had been successfully building up momentum to this very moment, and though we all know the outcome, the thrill of near success was palatable. These characters were sympathetic, but considering their enemy, I don't think that was much of a stretch to pull off. What Valkyrie could have used was a shorter running time, and really, the drama to have more on its mind than the operation itself. The reason is the same one why there aren't so many pro wrestling tournaments around as much as there used to be. The more build there is, the more a predictable or leaked outcome is going to hurt the overall product. Kind of far-reaching an example, but still it has to be said. The drama underwhelmed. Things were too stately overall, and though there were moments where this film truly shined, they were fleeting. Valkyrie overall is just an okay retelling of one of the largest military coups, unsuccessful or otherwise, in modern history. Max Manus, Man of War, is the true story about one of the most brilliant saboteurs during World War II and his battle to overcome his inner demons. This is a mostly Norwegian production from 2008 with a big budget feel and decent acting throughout, as far as I could tell. Something's lacking though. I don't know. Playing out like a distant nephew of Paul Verhoeven's Soldier of Orange, Max Manus feels a little too long and a little too light in its drama. Sure, there is torture and tragic ends, but whimsical cast chemistry gives off the impression of a ripping yarn, and I think that clashes with the otherwise realistic biographical approach the film resoundingly takes. Soldier of Orange had similar cast chemistry, but Verhoeven ran with that, orchestrated it most likely, and that film feels more cohesive as a result. I can't fault Max Manus for not having spectacle, attention to historical accuracy, or telling the story of a phenomenal war hero with due respect, but then again, it feels too light. I don't want all my war films to be come and see, but it seems this film wanted to tell a more serious story about Manus' battle with his PTSD, which never fully materialized until the denouement. The film had structure due to most of the story being based on real events, but the drama itself lacked focus. A clash of tones, though small, is there. Max Manus is a good film, but I just can't help feeling that it was a few rehearsal sessions short of being a great one. The poet Misak Manouchian leads a mixed bag of youngsters and immigrants in a clandestine battle against the Nazi occupation. 22 men and 1 woman fighting for an ideal and for freedom. News of their daring attacks, including the assassination of an SS general, eventually reaches Berlin. A very French telling of the not-so-French resistance, Army of Crime is a poetic and quite slow dramatization of the immigrants involved in the French resistance. This is neo-realism served straight in the 21st century, and maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but there aren't many examples of that kind of thing I can recall. The camera work is a million miles away from any dogma tricks, so don't come looking for shaky cam or shock value, though I don't know if this is any better. The acting is okay, I guess, but the plot is not there, even though this is based on a true story. There is no momentum. Scenes do not feel like they build on top of one another. It just seems like a bunch of vignettes strung together. Titillation, good cinematography, and some charming scenes of assassination aside, Army of Crime is a very plodding film that does feature good acting, but the pacing is bad and it will test your patience with just how the story seems to go absolutely nowhere. Right, conclusion time. Valkyrie is an okay war drama with a big budget, Max Manus be just chumming it up whilst he blows up warships, and Army of Crime deals with some significant tragedy in a very laissez-faire, somewhat obnoxious but wholly French way. And, well, c'est la vie. Bonsoir!